Hi, my name is Gregory Barney. Nice to meet you guys. I know we haven't seen each other, but hey, what's up? Hope y'all having a good day. The photo I will be reviewing, as you can see right in the background, Timothy O'Sullivan's Harvest of Death, 1863, and it is a photograph. And now I'll begin with my little analysis. This work of art is a photograph by Timothy O'Sullivan. It is a moving piece of visual art, the capturing of an object or object standing still in time to get a reaction from it in itself is a magical experience that a photograph can produce. I will be doing analysis of the photograph and how it gets a reaction to the violence and sadness it is conveying. My main point of analysis will be the creativity to take such a photo and its potential to express the tragedy of war on both sides and how in Timothy's day and age photograph the power of a photograph and what it had and how it could be used to persuade. While we don't know if Mr. Sullivan staged this photograph, I still think it holds great weight in our vision of what war is like. The intelligence to create something is not something everyone has a great capacity for. Not everyone can create a Mona Lisa, and not every amateur with a camera is an artist. It takes creativity to see the bigger picture to create a work of art that lasts more than a generation. It takes luck and skill to create something that stands the test of time for generations. Timothy's creativity to see such a devious and malicious scene in front of him and to be able to understand the power it could hold was astounding. This image portrays a field littered with his fallen comrades and enemies alike. The photograph was so moving to me as a veteran that I knew that this would be the one I would be analyzing. The field, as far as you can see back, is depicting the aftermath of the Battle of Gettysburg, one of the most important Civil War battles fought. The angle of the photograph gives a wide scope of the scene, and even in black and white, we can see the loss of life is tremendous. As a Navy veteran, I am glad that I have never first-handedly witnessed carnage like this shown in Mr. Sullivan's Harvest of Death. The photographs I have seen while in are worse in the show of violence, but these still hold the same value of death. The scene that Mr. Sullivan produces is one of sadness and instantly brings forth the ideals that life is short and death happens for all, whether the horses and trees, and even Mr. Sullivan himself. Also, the effect of black and white gives a more darker tone to the image it presents than the photograph was in color. I feel like it wouldn't carry as much weight as it does for the lack of color. The lack of color gives it more surreal connotations of you don't know how we as humans could have done this to each other. How could we be so violent to each other over states' rights of not being able to keep slaves? The depravity and turmoil is clearly depicted, and the reach goes hundreds of years after the artist has passed, but the message and audience persist through time. We could all try and do something for the betterment of our societies, but in our day and age, we're still living through the turmoils of war and the turmoil times of war. And in our day, we can still sympathize with the tragic events of our forefathers lived through from the reach he was able to capture. Mr. Sullivan's creative knowledge to see the scene in front of him after carrying heavy equipment just to take a picture of this scene must have been a truly grueling event. But without his commitment to his art, we wouldn't have this photographic evidence of the scene that took place. We wouldn't be able to sway either side of the war or to the general carnage that happened in the war. The Harvest of Death was such a dramatic expression of death on a large scale most people don't ever get to see in their own lifetimes. Due to his effort, hopefully we never have another war at the scale of death like the Civil War had on American soil.